I have to ask you about capitalism, the pros and cons. So you wrote a book, It's Okay to Be Angry About Capitalism. That is a thorough, rigorous criticism of, I would say, hyper-capitalism.
Yes, that's right.
A certain kind of capitalism that you argue that we are existing in today in the United States. But a lot of people would attribute to capitalism all the amazing technological innovations over the past 70 plus years that have contributed to increase in quality of life, in GDP, in decrease in poverty, decrease in infant mortality, increase in expected life expectancy. So what are the how do you see the tension, the pros of capitalism and the cons of capitalism?
Some of my European friends, they say, Bernie, in the United States, you're considered to be very radical. If you were here in France or Denmark or someplace, you'd be kind of mainstream left guy.
Yeah.
Not all that radical. So this is what I think. I think the best that we could do right now, where we are right now, is to create a society which does two things. It encourages innovation, but at the same time, it makes sure that all people in a wealthy nation have a decent standard of living. In some countries, if you look at Scandinavia, and this shocks people because we don't talk about this at all. So in Scandinavia, it has been the case, Denmark, Finland, Norway, for years, that people have healthcare. That's not a big deal. You end up in the hospital, so what? They don't pay a bill. You have, and this shocks people, in America right now, we have people who will get 1 week, 2 weeks off paid vacation. Sometimes people get nothing. You know that? There are people out there who have no vacation at all. In Germany, you get 6 weeks paid vacation and other holidays as well. People are shocked by that. In America, we don't have paid family and medical leave. The only major country not to do it. Other countries, your wife gets sick, you stay home with her. Your kids get sick, not a big deal. You get a certain amount of paid family and medical leave. Cost of prescription drugs are far more affordable. So what you want to do is create what's called a social safety net. That means I don't care what your income is. Of course, you're going to have health care as a human right. Of course, you're going to have housing that is affordable. Of course, your kids are going to have great quality education from childcare to university without much cost. Every country has it a little bit different. But there are countries in the world right now, I think in Germany, I think college is now tuition free, as I recall. For obvious reasons. They want to have the best educated workforce they can. So in terms of government playing a role in a civilized democratic society of providing all basic needs, healthcare, education, housing, retirement benefits, yes, that is what we've got to do. Now, does that mean then that the government is going to run every mom and pop store on the corner? Of course not. You want innovation. You want to go out and start a business, produce a product, good luck to you, make money. But on the other hand, in terms of even making money, we want you to be able to do that, come up with good products, good services. But do I think you should end up with $100 billion? No, I don't. And you know what's funny? I did an interview with Bill Gates, who is, I think, the third wealthiest guy in the country. Struggling behind Musk and Bezos, I think. And he's only worth 100+ billion, but he gets by. And I said to him, Bill, he was supposed to ask me questions. I asked him the question. I said, Bill, tell me something. You're an innovator with Microsoft and all that stuff. Did you know that you'd become a multi-billionaire? And was that motivated you? That one motivated you? And he said, no. And I believe he was honest. I love doing I love programming. I was a kid. He started doing that. He loved it. He was motivated by it. Do you think that there are scientists out there who work in day and night trying to develop drugs to deal with Alzheimer's or cancer, that they're motivated? Oh boy, if I come up with this drug, I'm going to become a billionaire. So I think, we want to reward success. Fine. But you don't need $1 billion. We want people to get satisfaction from what they accomplish, the work they're doing, whether it's cleaning the street or developing a new, drug. So I think we have gone a little bit too far. And you're right in talking about the book was an attack on, you call it hypercapitalism or uber capitalism. But right now, and this is not an American issue, this is a global issue. It's not an accident that Musk is over there in Saudi Arabia talking to the, trillionaire families in the Mideast. These guys are with Putin and his friends. You got probably not more than 5,000, 10,000 extraordinarily wealthy families who have unbelievable economic power over 7 billion people on this planet.
Well, Elon Musk is actually an interesting case because he's investing all the money back into the businesses. So I think there is a balance to be struck, and you just spoke to it, which is we can still celebrate even big companies that are bringing wealth to the world, that are building cool stuff, that are improving quality of life, but we can question of why is it that the working class does not have a living wage in many cases, and sort of trying to find that balance.
That's right. That is the story. Look, I am no great fan of Elon Musk, especially in the role that he's playing right now in Trump's campaign. But is he a brilliant guy? Of course he is. Does he work like a dog? Of course he does. Does he come up with these incredible innovations in companies? Yes, he does. Does he deserve credit for that? Yeah, he does. But, even in terms of encouraging innovation, I would hope that we are focusing on the important issues. I would love to see great innovators figure out how we build the affordable housing that we need, come up with the great drugs that we need to solve many of the terrible illnesses that plague people. Climate change, for God's sakes. All right. Do we need innovation? We're making some progress in this country. Should we do more? What kind of technologies out there can really cut back on carbon emissions? So, I hope we focus on some of the most important issues that impact humanity. But, reward innovators, I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem when 3 people end up owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society.